Let's talk about the most wholesome episode of Spy Family this season so far, episode 16. This episode was absolutely fantastic, and it gave me such wholesome vibes, and it made me smile during it. It was great. But before I get into it, welcome to NonStopAntonio, where I talk about everything nerdy. If you like content just like this, hit the subscribe button for more, and I hope you enjoy this video. So the beginning of the episode seems really dark. You have Twilight analyzing YOR coming in. She has a somber expression, cuts in her hand, and it seems like something suspicious going on. They were waiting for her to come home to make dinner, and then she just went to bed. I thought she went and killed someone, or she was going to have to kill people, because she was also saying that she needs to do it. Bond sees her crying, so I'm assuming something bad happened. And then, no, it's like evil intensifying music of her going to her coworker's house. And it's just like, what's going on? And they're like, well, it's time to do this. And it's like very like sinister looking. She was carrying this bag, and it was bloody. And her coworker, Camilla, just turns around. She's like, did you crush the tomatoes? I'm like, that's not blood. She didn't just kill someone. That's not their head in the bag. Damn, they really like to make us think one thing and then it's another. Found it hilarious that YOR thought that it was her cooking that made Twilight use the washroom, even though Twilight was stopping a bomb threat. And she's trying to fix her cooking. It's all about YOR fixing her cooking. And the cooking scene was just hilarious. YOR can't cook for shit. It's like some weird stew that has fish, bones, random vegetables all sticking out of it. I'm like, what did you make? And you have her brother like eating it, and he's just puking as he eats it. And he's been doing this his entire life because YOR has always made him food. And I'm like, that's absolutely disgusting. And I love how Camila and the other dude just fall on the ground from taking one sip because it's so disgusting. And I love the scene because you have YOR cutting up like all the vegetables and breaking the cutting board because she's an assassin. So she's like slicing through everything. And the way she cut up her hand was with the potato peeler. I'm like, YOR cannot cook for shit. I mean, she's an assassin, but she's not a cook. And then she makes a meatball, and it has a bone and a fish sticking out of it. I'm like, how did you mess up a meatball? It's just ground beef. And it was just so funny that she just kept making these horrific looking foods. And she even talked about when she was younger, the way she would make her brother food is to just have all the ingredients he needed to be healthy. And I'm like, that's not how cooking works. That looks so gross. And then finally, YOR thinks of a food when they were kids from their mother. It was like a stew. It looked good, and they were actually able to make it, and everyone liked it. And I like how when she went home to give it to Twilight and Anya, they were very hesitant to eat it at first because of how bad YOR's cooking is. And then when they ate it, they loved it. And then YOR had this nice special dessert for them. And they're like, I'll eat it. They eat it, and they both go to the ground because it's absolutely disgusting. Oh my god, I love this show. It is so wholesome and funny. And I just love the moments with the characters because it just makes you feel for them. And then the funny part is, it seemed like the episode was over at that point. But then they had the part with Frankie and Twilight. And Frankie going to get Twilight. He needs his help. And then he's like, I need your help. And he's like, what is it? Is it another mission? And Frankie's like, I need your help with the girl. And Twilight's like, yeah, no. And then just turns around to leave. And then Frankie's like, well, if you don't help me, I'm going to go to the secret police. Turns around and gives him the death stare. I'm like, and he's like, oh, no, I'm just kidding. And then, Twilight sits down with him to help him. And Frankie brings out all this information about the girl he likes, like her height, her date of birth, her age, everything about her, what she likes, what she doesn't like. Twilight just looks at him. He's like, you're a stalker. It's just such a random scene, and then you had Twilight making conversation flowchart so that Frankie could like talk to her, and Frankie's like, how am I supposed to remember this? It's just like a huge chart that just kept doing like different segments of how to talk to this girl about like what other options might be if she says a certain word or a certain phrase or whatever. And I'm like, damn, just all this for Frankie to talk to a girl, and for Frankie to practice. Twilight puts a costume on to look like the girl. I'm like, oh my god. This is like one of the most random things the show has done. And it was just like a nice funny moment between friends and them really connecting as friends. Even though he's an informant, they kind of really became friends by the end of it. Because you have Frankie who got turned down. Anya realized he's got turned down and he's sad because she's just looking at him all sad like. And then you have Twilight meeting him at the bar because he knows he's having a bad day. And he comforts him like a friend would. Absolutely wholesome episode. Like just so many good vibes from this episode. And that's what I like about the show is that I'm always happy while watching it. It makes me laugh, it makes me smile, and there's just so many good moments in it that really point in a different direction from like some of the animes I watch that are very death and destruction. Like it's just a nice change of pace, and the characters are all amazing. I love how they're written, and I like how they have their two different lives to them, but their two different lives kind of combine slowly with different things, and it's just a fun show to watch. What did you think of this week's episode of Spy Family? Did you have some wholesome vibes coming from it? And if you like content just like this, hit the subscribe button for more because I'm always talking anime and I'm covering Spy Family weekly. And I love it so much. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.